Giggles and Goals.
Welcome.
I'm Leonie.
And I'm Crystal-Dior.
And today, what are we talking about?
We're talking about, are you ready to go? Are you ready to go all in?
Yes. On what?
On your life, on your brand, on your business, on whatever you're trying to achieve.
Yes. Are you ready to go all in? Right. Like, we're not half stepping. Okay.
All in
big
nothing.
steppers over here. Okay.
What's that song? It's like
I'm a big stepper.
No.
Big stepper.
This one's from
I'm talking about Flo Milli.
I'm talking about the little guy from Atlanta. Tip.
How's it go?
Big things. No?
Big things popping, a little things
He don't talk
popping.
about step? Oh, never mind.
I know. You talking about T.I.?
Yes.
Oh, big things popping, little things
I
stopping.
thought you talking about step. Maybe, okay, we see how much I know.
Are you talking about a two-step?
I don't know what I'm talking about anymore.
First of all, I'm just throwing out all these songs.
I don't know. It will hit me as soon as we're done recording today.
Okay.
But let's jump into our one-liners.
Yes. Okay. So mine's is some people dream of success. I wake up and make it happen.
Yes.
Make it happen.
Make it happen, Captain. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Mine is I'm the definition of where vision meets hustle. One bold move at a time. I shortened it.
Okay.
So let's do it again.
Yes. Okay.
I'm the definition of a wisdom. No. Let's do it again.
Take three. Take three.
I'm the definition of where vision meets hustle.
Bam.
One bold move at a time.
Yes. There you go.
Yes, I got
Third
it out.
time's a charm.
Third time's a
Yes. Okay.
But you know what I like about our one-liners this week? I feel like they're really true to who we are.
Yes,
Because
for sure.
I'm a big bold move maker. Like I feel like I'm buying a house. Well, how you got money for that? I don't know. You know, like I'm very like figure it out later.
Yes.
So and I think you are definitely a make it happen person. So
yes. Action Jackson.
Action Jackson. All right, let's jump into who said that. I'm excited about this one.
Okay.
So the quote is, "Your word is going to fill a large part of your life." Nope, that's not it. I can't read today. Okay, let's start again. So the quote of the day is...
Take your time, baby. Let them muse you. Take your time. Okay.
Your work is going to fill a large part of your life. The only way to be truly satisfied is to do what you believe is great work. The only way to do great work is to love what you do.
Yes. So
that's
what helps you. That is what helps you get all in.
All in. Loving what you do.
All right, but this is a who said that.
Who said that. So it is a man.
Okay.
Is an innovator.
Mm-hmm. Ford?
No.
Okay.
Younger. Not our generation, but not Ford.
Okay.
I don't know what generation is. Not baby boomer. What's that one in between?
Between a baby boomer?
And us.
What Gen Y? I don't know what their fun name is.
Okay, I don't know what I don't know.
Yeah,
but those people
we're
right
X.
above us.
Mm-hmm.
We're millennials.
Wait, XY. They are
X?
We're
millennials.
but our letter is X, right?
Oh, we had a letter too?
Yeah.
Oh,
I don't know.
We don't know. If
like
you
my
know,
brain is like trying to compute.
If you know, let us
computing.
know. But the generation above us, okay? He's that generation.
Yeah, we're Gen Y and they're Gen X above us because there's Gen Z.
The ones, okay, makes
and
sense.
What's their nickname?
You don't want me to make up one because you know how I feel about them.
Zoomers. I call them Zoomers.
Oh, yeah. Okay. That's appropriate.
Okay.
Okay, so let me do the quote again. Your work is going to fill a large part of your life. The only way to be truly satisfied is to do what you believe is great work. And the only way to do great work is to love what you do. Man, innovator, somewhere between us and baby boomers. He's no longer living.
Steve Jobs.
Yep.
Okay.
Steve Jobs.
Yes. He was the supreme innovator. Really, really amazing.
I actually miss the Apple era when he was here.
Mm-hmm.
Because I feel like, I don't know if this is real life or not, but I feel like they purposely kind of make their products not as durable as they used to be.
Oh.
Because they want us to get new ones.
I mean, manufacturing has changed a lot.
My phone would last forever. My Apple had no problem.
Yeah.
Now I feel like around the time it's time to upgrade.
Oh, it starts tripping. Exactly. It's like it starts freezing.
Yeah.
It starts not charging. It starts cutting off when it should be cutting on.
Foolery.
Yeah.
Now my computer still does well. But I bought my computer a very long time ago. But it's still trucking.
Mm-hmm.
iPads be trucking. But the phones, I'm like, I think y'all are doing this.
Well, everybody does, for sure.
But he wasn't doing that. I feel like in his era, that phone lasted forever.
Well, I think manufacturing was completely different. Like, it was a whole different world then. I don't know. I just think it's changed. I don't know exactly what's changed, but I believe that's the issue.
Okay. Well, that could be. I mean,
or they could just be...
They're doing more.
Little adult devilish and doing it on purpose.
Yeah, it's just around the 2-year mark is when it starts doing it.
It does. And they got new stuff coming out. Is it every year or every 2 years?
I think it's...
the phones.
Is it every 2 years? Because I've had my phone a year and I haven't heard anything.
I don't know. I stopped trying to upgrade. I just keep riding until the wheels fall off.
I do too. I do until people complain. Like the phone I have a new one, but I had a really old one before this one.
Right.
So I waited a while.
Yeah.
But let's jump to our topic of the day, which is, are you ready to go all in?
All in on your dreams, on your whatever you're trying to put forward in life.
So we're going to do a story time.
Yes.
We're going to share a story from one of you. Go ahead and read it, and then we'll respond.
All right. So this person says, I currently have a good paying job, but terrible work-life schedule. Have about $10K saved and my bills paid for the next 4 months. Okay. Good job for you. Okay. Wanting to start a junk removal business, just me and one guy starting out. Filed LLC already, started a website, junkbandits.com. Still a work in progress, waiting on Google business verification. Then I'm going to be getting a truck with a dump trailer built somewhere along the 55K mark. Just getting it financed in my name. Any thoughts or suggestions?
She had a lot going. 4 months. So not only does she have 10K saved, but she has her bills paid up for 4 months.
That's really good. Yeah.
Goals.
Yes, you can get a lot started when you have that much time to just kind of think about your junk removal business. And you don't have to be thinking about your day-to-day bills. Like, you're not living paycheck to paycheck. So that's a great start already.
But she's just unhappy because she does her work-life balance sucks.
Right. So she's trying to invest into her dream venture, or maybe not a dream venture, just a new revenue stream so that could eventually be her main thing. Did you want to start off with your thoughts and suggestions?
Yeah, I mean, I think she's on the right track. I mean, having your regular life stable before you jump into a business is really smart because, I mean, you want to make sure you can still keep the lights on and this and that. I do wonder if her work-life balance is so terrible, how long does she plan on keeping her good-paying job while she does this? Because having a full-time business is a lot, you know?
Yeah.
Like, so I know she's able to, is she going to quit her job and then for 4 months pour into this business?
I wouldn't say that, but I would say if you have some vacation time to take that to get this stuff sorted out with your business. Because I see that you have some stuff here where it's like, you've gotten started with, you've got the domain name. That's like good. You're in the honeymoon phase of this business that we talked about in another episode. So it seems really exciting. Yeah. But what you don't have is a proven model that's going to work for you yet. Yes. And so that's something I would spend some time seeking and figuring out, like, how much of the market share can you take up in this space? Because junk removal is popular. There are some successful businesses in it. But have you looked to see what your plan is to actually leave that job? Yeah. And you can help figure that out by looking at the market share. I'm reading this book. A lot of things of what I'm going to be talking about today comes from this book called $1 Million Weekend. The Surprisingly Simple Way to Launch a 7-Figure Business in 48 Hours by Noah Kagan. Okay. So he has a really awesome story. He started several multi-million-dollar businesses, like over 5. Love it. Yeah. And so one of the things he talks about is we get really caught up in doing the LLC, getting the domain name and all that stuff. Fun, exciting things. But we get in, if you're trying to bank on this where you can leave your job, then you should be seeking for this to be a multi-million-dollar business. Yeah. You know, not so much a passion project, because there's a time and a place for that. But in this case, you need to do some more. I would say it's not shown here that more research has been done. So
like a
I'm
business
just going
plan,
based off of this.
market research.
And it can be fast. Just to have a proof of concept is what I'm talking about. So to help you understand if this is a thing that can get you into something that's more of a work-life balance situation with your own business, is it going to be something that's actually going to make you money? And then go through the steps to figure out how much of the market can you take up? How can you grab your people, your fan base from that market and make it into something super profitable?
No, I don't know, because she says right now it's just herself and one other guy, right? So I don't know if she's quite at the leave her job point yet.
Not
because
yet.
She didn't mention anything. It seems like she's trying to finance this on her own, like getting the car financed in her name. I don't know if I would do that.
No.
You know, she said she has an LLC, so I feel like she should try to get financing for that truck through the LLC's name.
You can. And because you're a brand new business, if you don't have any business credit before, you will have to personally guarantee it.
Yes, which is different than it being in your name, right? So I would do that. Try to see if you can get like a business credit card or something to kind of help. Just pulling from your 10K will go really fast when starting a business. Like a truck, that might just be like a quarter of that might be gas for this truck. Like, so things like that. So I'm wondering, has she done a full business plan with market, like you're saying, with a financial plan, projections? Because that 10K will go really fast if she doesn't have a plan and she hasn't thought about financing or bank help or how you're going to do it. Because just two people, she's going to have to pay him, whoever the person is, one guy, or she needs to be available because that's not enough people. Unless she's just renting the truck out, dropping it off.
For the junk removal, just getting started, you have to go to people's houses or places where people want to remove junk and then, put it in there. Now you're 1-2 people to. I have a feeling this is probably. Is it confirmed that it's a woman?
No.
Okay, so this is probably a man.
Okay.
And those two guys moving stuff, it may take you longer to do it, but you're just starting out. So I don't think there is.
But this is if he already has a busy job, he's really only available on the weekends.
Yes, only you on the weekends, and if you're working, unless you're working nights, then you could be doing early in the morning to do the junk removal. But weekends I would imagine is a hot time for junk removal because
also some people do it where you just rent out the trailer,
you drop it off,
come back pick it up,
exactly.
Which is probably better than I don't know if you have the time to
That is something to think about with this, though. So that's a good way to balance having a full-time job and doing this.
And you're just having one guy because all he's doing is dropping it off.
Or because if you drop it off, they have to do the junk removal. They have to put it in there. You just drop it off and pick it up
and unload it.
So again, going back to this book, he talks about he was challenged to do this business in 24 hours. So he started a beef jerky business.
Okay.
And he goes into all the reasons why, but he started off with, okay, I need to buy this much beef jerky and I need to sell it to this many people so I can make this much money and like his freedom number for that business was like $10,000 or something like that.
Okay.
And so he went through that whole process to figure out to find out that selling it just straight up, like this package of jerky to one individual person wasn't going to work.
Okay.
But pivoting to, I could do a jerky subscription service.
Okay.
And put it and sell it to businesses.
Okay.
So it's still a jerky business, but you're able to, you pivot to find your market. So I would say if you having that full-time job, explore several options. I would say write out like 5 to 10 options of if you already got this truck and you're going to get this trailer, what are you going to do if you find out that doing it this way that you're thinking of currently, which it seems like just going where people ask you to pick it up and dump it, do all the manual labor for that, maybe you're too tired to do that. Maybe you realize that you work a full-time job and doing junk removal all weekend, you're not going to be able to actually be effective in your job. So how can you maximize the investment that you put into this business already and still make it happen and keep your life the way it is now? That can usher you into some work-life balance.
I like that. So, I mean, that's our initial take, but we definitely have a little bit more to share when it comes to some of you who maybe you don't have a junk removal company. Maybe you don't have $10,000 saved and bills paid for 4 months. Maybe you don't have an amazing job that pays you well, but you're still trying to figure out what do I need to do to know if I'm ready to go all in. So we have some steps. So let's jump into it. I'll do the first one. Is it solid? Is your idea solid?
Mm-hmm.
Whatever you're doing, you need to validate your idea. Ensure that it solves a problem. There's a need. Demand is so important for any successful business. Do people care about what you're doing? Do they need what you're doing? Does it have long-term success? Are you solving a problem? Feedback loop. Seek opinions of potential customers, right? Refine based on feedback. There's this girl, I think it's Gretchen. Have you heard of Gretchen?
Gretchen what?
Dang, I don't know. She's a blonde girl, but she's all over like all the social.
Does she make tea? Is that what she does?
Tea, like watches.
Water. She had water, I think.
Water. Okay. Yeah, so she just starts businesses and makes them successful. She doesn't keep them for long. But I was watching one of her little free somethings, and she said that she will vet an idea before she pours into it. She'll literally create a social media page she'll do a little photo shoot. She'll get one watch. She started with watches. Got one watch. Okay, didn't pour into inventory. She got one. Didn't buy LLC. She just got one watch. Did a photo shoot with the watch. Pushed it on social media. Started a pre-sale sign-up list. And saw the people want this watch. So when she got to 10,000 people who wanted the watch, then she went into production.
Right.
And if it went nowhere, okay, I lost
leave it. Exactly.
$100 on a photo shoot. So that's how she would validate her ideas that way, which I thought was really smart. And another thing to think about was the happiness level. Do something you truly enjoy. We've talked about so many times because that's how you'll have longevity. For her, she didn't care about watches, but she loved the excitement of starting a business.
Yeah. And
seeing it become something and then she sells it. She's not trying to stay in the watch business for 20 years. She just likes building companies that other investors are more her client than us, if that makes sense. Yeah. She's like, how do I build something that the investor will want to buy? That's was her excitement. So she had a passion for that. So she just keeps doing that. But I think the idea is really cool. Like if you have a product or something, just get one or two of the things. Push it on social media. See if people care. Push marketing. Do people want to hear about this? And see what happens. I think it's a cool way.
I think so as well. And going back to, and mind you, I've only read like maybe 25% of this book. I haven't even read the whole thing, but this is what I've got from it so far. He talks about, building your business part. And when is it, going back to what I was talking about, the market share, validating your idea. So one way to know if your idea is going to be something that's needed, that's actually going to be profitable, that's going to bring in a lot of money, is if people are already saying they need it right now. Okay. So to help validate your idea, go to Reddit and type in whatever the market you want to get into, self-help or, athletics or whatever, cooking. Type it in and see the conversation people are having about it. Do it in Facebook forums as well. Also, another way is to do Google, find out what people are searching, because then you'll be able to see how you could fit that need. Because a lot of times in our businesses, we go in with our ideas as an entrepreneur, as a business owner. It's like, this is an idea I have, and I'm going to give it to people. But do people need it? Are they going to think of it as Noah calls it, is this like a vitamin or is this a painkiller? Okay. Because a vitamin is something nice to have, but a painkiller is needed if you're in pain. I get you. So doing a Google search like how to fix this or how to develop this or how to whatever. And the auto generation of like the whatever to search, that comes from what is the top search things. So if it's the autocomplete, those are things you need to be taking note of. Okay. Because that's what people are actively searching. It's
the top of the search list.
Yes.
People want it.
Exactly. So
I like it.
Those are ways to validate your idea. Yeah. Also, I haven't looked into this completely, but I would say go to milliondollarweekend.com because I'm promoting Noah stuff. Not sponsored. He don't know us. Yet. And he said there's Facebook, basically the whole world has, like, Facebook is a representation of almost the whole world because a lot of people have it. Yeah. And to find out if there's a big enough market share for you to actually go somewhere with your business, search the industry or the topic that you want to get into on Facebook. And there's something in the ads section that tells you how many people are interested in that. Gotcha. So that tells you the number of people in that market share. So how much of that market can you take up? 1%, 5%, whatever. And knowing that number and how much you're going to charge for this service or product, are you going to be getting the returns that you're looking for that effort?
Yeah,
so
another way to validate ideas. When I used to work for university, I was in the School of Business, and my desk was right across from the guy who ran the entrepreneurship program. So I talked to him a lot, and he did his business based off Amazon. He would go on Amazon, look at the most sold item, and create a replica.
Exactly.
So he had the most random items. He sold doormats. He sold loofahs. He sold what was the other random thing? Doormats, loofahs. There was some other item, I can't remember what it was, but it was so random. But he was like, I know it sells.
Right.
I just need people to choose mine.
Yes.
And that's really what it was about. And so he would teach the students how to find the item. And then he would do the summer trip where he would fly them to San Francisco, to the Amazon warehouse. Show them, okay, this is what the warehouse looks like. This is how you get your product to their distribution centers. And then he took them to China. And he would take them to China to find somebody to make their item. And then he would take them back to Amazon. Now that you have your manufacturer, how do you link it? He's put them through the whole chain. But that's how he would verify his products.
That's good. And did he ever talk about how quickly people jumped on it to purchase or anything like that?
Yeah, he said he would. Sometimes it depends on the item. Doormats, they're not so picky about the quality, right? You're not like, oh, I need to make sure I have the best
quality doormat when people are
So you usually pick items that people aren't going to need 100 reviews on it, right? Because I wouldn't really care. Give me that doormat, right?
It's cute.
It's cute, right? It's a doormat.
Yeah.
So he would pick items like that. So sometimes it would take a bit to get the reviews up. But he said he had a system where he would give out $5 coupons if people wrote reviews. So he would usually, for a new item, he would try to get at least 100 reviews in 60 days by giving out gift cards.
That's nice.
So that he can get reviews. But once he had the 100 reviews, he was done, and then he didn't have to worry about it. Then people started buying and authentic. But that's kind of how he did it. I thought that was really cool.
That's a cool way. Another thing, going back to this book, that Noah talks about is, if your idea doesn't get 3 people to purchase it in the first 48 hours, go to the next one.
Gotcha.
So he do a landing page, do a test or sample of something or something like that, where people can have it, and if they purchase it in 3 days or within 48 hours, 3 people do it, then you have something that can go, that has legs.
I like that.
But if it doesn't, he also recommends having like a list of like 10 businesses through all the search things I just mentioned to get into, like that Hell Your guy with the Amazon who has the doormats and stuff. He was like, these are the top things. If doormats didn't work, he probably has something else to go on.
Oh, he has so many products.
Exactly. Yeah. So have a list of things so you're not so hung up on that one thing, but you have a multitude of things that can pan out and work out, and you can test and experiment with those things. Yeah. And whatever hits that 48-hour window, is the thing
like
you
that.
put towards.
Don't get married to your first idea.
Yes. And I've walked down the aisle with a few ideas.
Y'all. At this point, I'm polygamous.
Wedding reception. Okay. Everything.
Full shebang every time.
Every time. I'm learning now, 2024, that this is not, that there's a better way, basically.
Yeah. And I mean, we kind of covered a couple things in that one. We covered solid ideas. We covered market research. We covered competitive analysis, but we can jump in a little bit more on competitive analysis. Yeah. So looking at your competitors, know who your competitors are. Look at what they're doing well. Copy it.
Exactly.
Whatever they're not doing well, do better.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? There's this theory called the Burger King theory. Have you heard of it?
No.
So they're saying every Burger King, you'll notice, it's always within a certain amount of blocks of McDonald's. Because Burger King knows McDonald's and I, we have the same.
Our strategy, we're going to be on your ass.
We have the same target market. So if your line is too long, they coming over here.
That's fair.
Right? So a lot of businesses do that.
That's why at the street for me, there's 4 chicken places on the same street.
They know. If this line is too long, they don't like your chicken. They might like my chicken.
Right.
Stay over here.
It's like all of y'all got chicken strips.
Yes.
Okay.
So let your competitors be your stepping stone. Even like things like Ross. I know if I see a Ross, it's probably a TJ Maxx or a Marshalls. I know it. There's always, or if there's a Target, usually within 2 miles is a Walmart.
Is it?
Yeah. Target's a little bit bougier, but there's always a Walmart near Target. Now, there's always a Target near Walmart? No.
Okay.
But there's always...
I'm trying to think.
No.
I don't remember ever living next to a Walmart recently.
There's a Walmart. If you look, you don't look for Walmart. Okay. But I took me a minute to realize there's 2 Walmarts near me. I didn't even know. I went to Walmart.
That's true.
But there's
You know what? There was a Walmart over there. It was tucked away in the back, though. It wasn't next to Target, but it was like in driving distance.
Target's a little bit bougie about the neighborhoods they go to.
Yeah.
But Target's usually the leader because they do a lot of market research. Walmart's like, oh, you like the area? I guess we go over there too. Like,
they gotta do market research too. They be curious.
They be everywhere. They don't care. But like that, it's a whole business model around it, like the Burger King effect, where wherever there's a McDonald's, Burger King isn't far because they're competitors. They're like, we're gonna use whatever you're doing and do it better, or try to do it different, or whatever it is. So your competitors are not your enemies; they're your lessons.
They're your lessons. Okay? Yes, they've done the research. They're your research.
Or they did it wrong. You gonna do it like It's so helpful to know your competitors, know what they're doing. There's actually this whole little viral thing going on right now. Do you know who Nara Smith is?
No, wait, pause though. Go.
She get me right, y'all.
Okay.
Okay. You know who Nara Smith is? No?
No.
She's on TikTok. She does like cooking videos, and she's like a light-skinned girl from Germany, and she like makes everything from scratch, like bubble gum, maple syrup.
This is on TikTok?
Yes. And Instagram too, and YouTube.
Bubble gum.
She makes everything from scratch.
I don't know about that. Okay.
And she does it like kind of old school glam.
Oh, cool.
And she's like in her kitchen, and she's like, my kids woke up this morning.
Like a 50s pinup wife?
Kind of, but not as intense. Like she's not sexy. She's more modern wife, like with the apron and full glam made face. But she'll be like her, and she talks in this monotone, calming voice. She's like, my kids woke up this morning and they wanted a Tootsie Roll, so I'm gonna make them a Tootsie Roll, and she'll make these random things, Snicker bars, Tootsie Roll.
Now listen, let me tell you,
from scratch.
How many kids does she have?
3. And then one for like a couple months. She was pregnant, still doing it.
I see those people. They have a level of capacity that is I cannot fathom.
Listen,
I put Maverick on a schedule. And I've been trying to keep that schedule. We're doing sensory activities.
I know. She had a whole
I made, what is that? What I call it? Moon sand. I got spaghetti with food coloring. It's so many things. And I'm like trying to keep it together. How are you making Tootsie Rolls from scratch?
Girl, she can make
I'm over here just coloring spaghetti.
She makes every single thing from scratch. I'll send you one of her videos.
Jesus.
Every single thing. So she's gone viral, of course. And she's like beautiful, and like her husband's a model.
She has to have help because 3 kids.
She hasn't mentioned it. She only really mentions her husband. They live in Dallas, so they're not far. She mentions her husband, and he helps sometimes. She'll be like,
because creating content is a lot, and if you have like 3 kids running around, too. Let me know if you are a content creator.
Little kids.
If you're a content creator and you're able to do this stuff with kids, how? Please share, because I would like to know.
I don't know, but this is the smoke about it. Okay, so she's gone viral. She's been all over everywhere. Everyone's like, Nara. People do spiff videos about her.
Dang, she popular.
People be like, my kids wanted chicken nuggets, so I went and made a chicken, and it's like chicken nuggets from like the frozen section. So people are like making fun of her, but she's gone viral. Okay. But this week, this South African creator said that Nara has been stealing her content. And
scandalous.
And that she's been noticing it for a few months. Like she'll post something, and then like soon after, Nara will post something. And so she's like, she wasn't gonna say anything, but she's saying something because recently she did a video where she created boba. Like she literally made the boba, and she was really proud of it. She does more farm. Her content's different, but what she's making is the same stuff, I guess. And she said like the next day, Nara made boba.
But is Nara passing it off as her recipes?
She doesn't say. I don't know.
Right. You're watching me make this recipe. What's the problem?
She doesn't necessarily say. So this whole thing of like, well, dang, did Nara steal her content? Or
I guess she needs to credit her if she's taking the recipe.
Yeah. I don't know if I watched the girl's content, and it more felt like a competition thing. It more felt like inspired by her.
Okay.
Because the style of the video is different. Nara does it more glam. Nara does it more modern. Nara's in the videos more. They are making the same things, same ingredients. I don't know if all the recipes are exactly the same, but similar.
Right.
But when you look at the videos, you're not like, oh my God, it's a carbon copy. Right?
Yeah.
So it's not one of those things to where how much from your competitors do you take?
I mean, it's hard because when you're hers, that's a very specific thing. In some areas, like, let's say design. if I can look at a designer's work and I can gain inspiration from it, and it can even be similar because maybe it's a similar color palette, or some of the elements are the same, or the style is similar, that it's still it's me that's doing it, and I'm going to put my own spin on it.
Right.
It's like, it's kind of hard to take that whole thing. But then also with recipes, like, you're supposed to do the recipe the way you're teaching it. So I'm putting my brand on this recipe that you made. Yes, I could kick you back a credit. That would be helpful.
Right.
Like, oh, look at where I got this recipe from.
Right.
I feel like that is reasonable,
right?
But to just straight up say somebody's taking from you is a little. A reach.
I don't know. I have to look up for myself. They said that Nara was denying even knowing anything about this girl's content.
Okay, well, let's ask that girl, where are you getting these recipes from? Are you coming up from? Because if you now the gag would be
if she copied from somebody else,
if she got the recipe online,
right?
It's like, what are you talking about?
Right. So
I want to know where these, because are you originating these recipes?
But the video is not like, I'm going to send you both. It's not like they don't look alike. It's not. Nara makes it a little bit more dainty.
Yeah.
She has a more dainty angle with it. This girl does more like, I feel like she's like a chef or something. And she's like, she can be on Chef's Kitchen. And she's in the kitchen and she goes to the farm. Oh, I'm going to get this from the tree. And she does it more like that. Nara would just go to the grocery store. So it's a little bit different. But it's, I guess, the only thing that I thought that was the same was what they were making. But the way they did their content was different. The look was different. So it's like, is she copying her? Some people are on there.
Maybe she's trying to just ride Nora's little coattails.
Some people are trying to cancel.
I don't see. They're trying to cancel her.
Nara, they're like, she's stealing. Other people are like, nah, it's not the same. So it's like this whole battle of, did Nara just say, oh, I like this, what this girl's doing. Let it inspire me?
I don't know.
Because she's my competitor. I don't know.
But this is all on TikTok, right?
And Instagram and YouTube.
So it's like, you got to let it go. You're putting your content out there.
Yeah.
And if people are inspired by it to make a recipe and they're like, I'm going to do this in a cute apron.
Yeah.
What are you mad at?
I agree. But it's so, I mean, it's something to think about when you are looking at your competitors. Make sure you're not plagiarizing.
Would you be mad if every time we come out with an episode, somebody got the same episode, the same setup?
I'll be annoyed. And then they went famous for it and I didn't. I'll be mad.
Okay, I guess if it's, I don't know.
Because Nara's making probably hella money. This girl isn't. She's in South Africa. People don't know her. It didn't go viral. Right? So
I don't know. I would figure out something else. I would keep trying to keep in the same vein, but if somebody did that, bit our whole situation, which, I mean, people can say that about us. There's a whole lot of Black women doing podcasts right now.
But it's not like we are looking at their podcast, what they talk about this week, or we're going to talk about that.
That's true.
Or what does their set look like? We're going to copy their set. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We more were like, oh, we like the lighting. We want to make sure we have good lighting. Or we like that they have 2 chairs. We're going to get 2 chairs. We're not going to be the same 2 chairs. Right?
Right, but it's like, from what you're describing with the Nora situation, it sounds like she's just using the recipe.
She's inspired.
All of us use recipes.
We do.
That's the point of recipes.
That's true.
Okay.
I mean, I don't know Nara's people, but I would squash it and probably reach out to the woman and be like, hey, I will put your
maybe
your
do
name
a collab.
In the let's do a collab, or I'll put your name in the captions.
And see, that's the thing. Maybe this also, one of the main principles Noah talks about in his book is asking. He talks about his father being an immigrant and how one of the things that is a benefit to immigrants is that because they are clueless to a lot of the social norms, they don't focus on that. So they're less afraid to ask for things that may be off-putting to some people, to people, American born people to do. Okay. So not being afraid to ask. What this other person could have did was like, hey, I've seen this content that you're doing. And if you've done this already, sorry. But say, I've seen this content you're doing. It's very similar to mine with my recipes. I think we could collab on some really good ideas. Yada, yada, yada. That could be the initial approach. If you did do that and Nora was like, forget that, then there's clearly an issue here.
Right. Now, they did have a screenshot. I be knowing the tea. And it was an old post, an old YouTube video the girl did, but Nara commented and said, I love your content. So they're saying that's acknowledgement that you watch this girl's stuff.
Yeah, you know her. So right. Nora said she didn't know?
Yeah, I don't know.
But I mean, again, we're reading into this. Not forgot. I comment on people's stuff. I don't know who they are, what their channel is. I do not follow them.
Yeah.
But I commented because I saw an Instagram reel or a TikTok where I'm like, this was cool. Fire emoji, yay. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, very true.
And it's like, why would I don't know everything, guys. Right. There's a lot of content all the time.
And like I said, it's not, I'm going to send you the videos later, but they're not, I'll send it to you. But if anything, I mean, the girl's got a lot of new followers. I follow her because her stuff is cool. Her content is cool. Mm-hmm. I don't feel like I can't follow her and Nara.
Exactly. So
right?
It's like, let's not,
so especially on her too.
Especially on social media, let's not talk about who's biting who.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Literally, like we said, nothing's new under the sun.
Exactly. So. Especially nothing's new 2 minutes ago because it's social media and everything goes like that.
So true. Mm-hmm. But let's jump to what I think is the most important part of this process.
Okay.
The money, honey.
Okay. Yes.
I want you to lead this one because you've done a lot more when it comes to financing and things like that.
Oh, okay.
I've always just paid for things out of my pocket because I'm afraid of business loans. Mm-hmm. But I don't know why. Because I have regular loans. It ain't doing nothing. But I don't know why. But I do want to get to that point where I feel more confident in that. But yeah, I mean, tell us your story.
So hopefully what I'm going to say is going to make sense. It's going to be a little all over the place.
Okay.
So I would say when you're going to start a business, like go figure out who's paying for this type of thing.
Okay.
You want to have going back to the customer first idea. Mm-hmm. Going back to this book I've been talking about the whole time, figuring out what that is, because that can help you better decide what type of money situation to put around your idea or your business or whatever, you know? Mm-hmm. And so I'll start off with, I wish I would have known this information before I did the thing. Even though I had financial projections for my SBA loan, everything was like the business plan was spot on. Like the projections were good. It was a reasonable business plan. It wasn't like, too far-fetched. Okay. It's still, even with that plan though, it did not work out for me the way that it was written out to work. Okay. And so what I know now, what I wish I would start this early, things I wish I knew early, is how to test if my idea is going to bring in the money. Then how to know, then I could plan accordingly from there. Okay. So going back to that 48-hour thing, check to make sure it's going to make money before you start to invest any money into it.
That's good.
That's number one. So who's paying for this? Your customer. Yeah. That's who's paying for it. Because the thing that I have now, the product that I am going to launch soon, that was created because somebody paid me to make it before I made it.
Got it. I like it.
And so I would say start there.
Okay, that's good.
Validate your idea with cash.
So go back to one.
Yes, and then decide how you want to grow it. I wouldn't be too concerned with trying to grow too quickly. Mm-hmm. I would do it for a year with trying to I would bootstrap it. I would recommend for the first year because you want to be scrappy in that first year. Because one thing that I did with getting that, large sum of money for my business, I thought of solving all my problems with the dollars. And some of your problems can be solved with just thinking through and being more resourceful.
I like that.
And so I would, these are not the most glamorous, sexy answers, but this is what's going to save you from financial ruin, potentially
bankruptcy.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's huge.
And trust me, I'm giving information from lived experience and going through a failed business and a failed financial situation, and knowing like this is what I should have done before. So then once you get your first few dollars, I would say then start to calculate your cost. Okay. And like what your startup costs are going to be. Back to this person who wrote in, is you got the truck and you got the trailer, but I don't know if you actually know how much you can make with this. Right. So you invested about $55,000 or so into this business, but do you know what you're going to make back and when? Right. There are those, and if you haven't tried to just rent it for a weekend and take it around and see who's going to pay for what.
Right area. Do they care about this where you're at?
Exactly. Do they care about this in this area?
Yeah.
So to test it first, and then put your dollar amounts on it, and then you can see if, depending on the market and depending on the feedback you get from your 48-hour test, you could say, okay, I'm going to take my time over this year, and if I need to hit these numbers, my number every month, I need to make it $10,000 a month or whatever it is. And you can do that, and you feel comfortable after a year. Maybe it doesn't happen in a year, maybe it happens in 2 years. And then you say, okay, now I'm ready to go and seek investors, venture capital, or go and do an SBA loan or a loan of some sort. So
that's a great resource. I'm happy you mentioned the SBA. Every county, I think city or county, has an SBA, and they're so underused, and they have a lot of funding, a lot of resources, a lot of mentors, a lot for grants. They have a lot of resources to help you start, but most people start businesses without even ever stepping foot inside of an SBA.
Right.
I know my first couple of ones I didn't. And I have an aunt who actually retired from working with the SBA, and she's like, yeah, there's a lot of money.
There's a ton of money.
A lot of money.
Yes.
There for you. Their loans usually have better interest rates if you do it through them. I think they back your loan more than giving you a loan, meaning if the bank is like, we won't give you a loan because you don't have a backer, the SBA will back it.
Yeah.
Things like that to kind of help you get your loan. But just look into the SBA. They have resources, all types of things to kind of help you be... Even if you don't know how to start your business plan, they have templates. They have a lot. So look into those resources because they're free. You pay your taxes for them. And they can really help you figure out a lot of these questions that we're talking about.
Yes. And if you're interested in knowing more about the SBA loan process, leave a comment below. We may be able to do an episode on it, or I may be able to share more of my experience in another way. So just let us know.
Absolutely. But let's jump to legally. Our writer talked about this. Like, what are you supposed to do legally? Like, what am I allowed to do? Do I have to get an LLC? Do I need to get a DBA? Do I need to get an S Corp? Like, what do I need to do? And we're not going to go through all the business structures in this episode. We'll do another one when we do that. But it depends on how serious you are and what your liabilities are, things like that. There's a lot of resources like LegalZoom or I think Taylor Brands who do it. There's a lot of websites where they'll help.
What is it? Inkfile.com?
Inkfile.com. But they'll kind of help you figure out what makes sense for you. I've done it both ways. I've done DBAs where it was just a small business with low liability, so it was okay that it was just in my name. But I've also had an S Corp, which I realized I didn't need after I had it. It was a headache. Yeah. I've done LLC. I've done them all. And you have to figure out which one makes the most sense for where you're at in your business, what you're trying to do, and where you're trying to go.
Right. Don't be so quick to get so official that you end up with a tax liability.
Yes, that's what I did with the S Corp. Or maybe you're not even there yet. That shouldn't be step one.
Right.
Like, vet your idea, write your business plan out, figure out where this business is going, get a timeline together, and then start whatever you're going to do. Because usually there's an annual something connected to it, an annual fee or something. So when that year mark starts, that's when they're starting to pay attention to what you're doing in your business, where your money's going. Or do you have one account for your business, or is it just coming out of your personal business? Like, all that matters.
Annual fee for what? Who's this?
Like LLC. You pay annually.
Oh, yes.
So you're paying, right? So if you start your LLC day one, but you don't actually launch your business to like...
That's right.
9 months in.
Yes.
Now you're paying an annual fee. You haven't even done nothing.
Right. And in Texas, there's franchise taxes.
Yes.
So you need to make sure that you were even if you're not making any money, you got to file those or you'll get a penalty.
Yeah.
So these are things that you find out through entrepreneurship where you're like, damn.
As soon as you file officially, these things usually begin.
Right. And they just trickle expenses.
Yeah. So
start to come through.
Do all your planning, all your market research, all the preparation stuff before you actually file with the state or whatever state, because once you file, they're going to want to know what's going on. Where's your money? Like, all that official stuff happens. No matter if you do a DBA or LLC. DBAs don't usually have annual fees, but sometimes you do have to pay taxes.
Yeah.
So all that starts. So anyway, be mindful.
And it's difficult because it's like, how do you know when to start? It's like, I haven't done all the research. There's always a book you can read. You know, then you have the paralysis of analysis because I need to know all the things before I can start or do whatever. That's why at the top of the episode, we're talking about validating your idea. Once you go through that situation, you can go balls to the walls with your idea. Once you get the one that makes the money within 48 hours, you put in this effort and you get knowledge along the way. You use what you have now and you make something happen, but you don't stop. learning, you keep growing, you keep filling up your knowledge so that you can become better and stronger as a business owner, as an entrepreneur, whatever you're aspiring to do. But don't get so caught up in having to read and do everything, especially when you validate your idea at the top.
Yeah, and if you're the type of person who needs a little bit more guidance, another cool thing that I actually did since I moved here, I did a pitch competition. Most cities have them through the SBA, look into the SBA, where you can pitch your business to high-level executives, bank people, and they'll tell you they think it's a good idea. And then they'll give you money, usually $5K to $10K, towards your idea. This is before you don't even have to have done anything, but had a plan. They will train you. I had to go through I think it was a 6-week training program where they went through every step of the business, and they had experts come and teach us. And then we had a mentor who we went through our business plan with, our projections, everything. And then we got in front of a team, and we were able to submit our pitch. And if you won, you got to pitch it in front of an audience. And you win and you don't win. But that's another way to vet an idea, to see if this if this isn't worth it. Maybe I need structure. I don't know how to pace myself. I don't know how to get my business plan.
Feedback so you can make corrections.
Get some feedback.
I think that's a great example. Another thing, again, in the $1 Million Weekend, is aim for rejections. Collect them.
Yeah.
Collect them like prizes.
They're so helpful.
Yeah. So the more times you get rejected, the more you're able to refine your idea. The more you're able to see what people are thinking.
What works,
what doesn't work, and it helps you get over that feeling of fear of rejection. Is it going to still suck if you get rejected? Yes. You're not going to be jumping up for joy.
No.
Most likely not. But the more you do it, the more advanced you will get at asking and getting the things you need to be successful.
That's good. So look into these resources. If you're like, I can't do all this on my own, find programs that you can enroll in that will hold you accountable and give you the tools that you need to help you get started. Another one that is close to my heart, because I didn't do this a lot of times. I feel like I failed a lot of times because of this. Having a team. If you have a business that you can't just run on your own, make sure you have a solid team, because most of the time you can't do everything on your own.
Right.
And when you try to, you spread yourself thin, and then things aren't done in excellence, and things aren't done at all. Right. So find a team, whether that's mentors, whether that's networking, whether that's personal support, whether that's people like an executive assistant, which if you need one, reach out to Leonie, because she can help you with that. But there's so many things that you cannot do because you're one person. So building a team is so helpful.
Yes. I want to go back to the plan, though, because I have something else to say there. Okay. Another thing you can reach out to me for is action plan coaching, strategy coaching, and things like that.
Okay.
I have something I'm launching soon.
Cool.
It's to help whatever. So here's the thing. One thing that people have an issue with is starting whatever they're wanting to do, and they may not know exactly how to do it. They're aimless, or they know what they want to do, but they don't know how to get there. And it's figuring out what the first steps are to taking your actions. So planning that out, knowing your mission, your vision, your purpose type of thing, and then taking the steps to do it with your OKRs, which are your objectives and key results, setting the goal, what type of result you want from that goal, and then your KPIs, key performance indicators. How do you know you're on track for this goal?
That's good.
So these things are important for whatever business you want to do, from a seedling to making it a seedling all the way to a multi-million-dollar thing. It takes steps to get there, but so you're not working on something aimlessly or just haphazardly. Knowing the exact steps you're going to take, it's important. So I'm creating resources to help people do that.
I love that. So check her out. Link in the comments.
Yes.
So our last thing, we talked about your team, but our last thing is like gut check. How do you feel? You know what I mean? Like tap in with yourself. There's good fear, and there's like warning fear.
Yes. I'm still figuring out the difference.
Yeah, there's like red flag fear, and there's like giddy excited fear. You know what I mean? So if you're feeling like all these red flags, like I shouldn't do this, take a pause. You know what I mean?
It's okay to take a break.
It's okay to take a pause and not jump into something that you're going to be overwhelmed, freak out, and feel like you made a bad decision one day.
Right, because you don't want to rush that decision to do something and then you deal with the consequences when all you need to do is pause. Even if the opportunity passes you by, if you really aren't ready, it's okay to let it go.
Yeah, it's better for an opportunity to pass you by then for you to get it and squander it because you're not ready, right? Mm-hmm. So do a gut check. Make sure that you're ready for this. Make sure the timing is right. Make sure your personal life aligns with what you're trying to do because it's a big commitment. Just make sure it all makes sense, you know? And then, you know, you kind of know if you get green check marks next to all these things we talked about, then you're ready to go all in. Mm-hmm. And we can't wait to hear about it. But our last segment, which is always my favorite because I feel like a recap, things we wish we knew.
Yes.
You want to go first?
Yes. So this is kind of not contradictory, but I'm going to have to explain it. So things I wish I knew. If you're going to start a business, go for what you really want. It's worth it. Mm-hmm. So that kind of, it seems like it contradicts what I said before, which was like do the market research, find your 10 things. But out of those 10 things, you put things in there that you actually want to do as well. And pick the first one you should pick is the one you're most excited about.
Mm-hmm. I like that. Mine is, I have 3, but I'm going to summarize them. Perfection is a myth. So things are not always going to be perfect. We're not saying wait for perfection. We're just saying wait for efficiency and a starting point that is like stable, I would say. But perfect doesn't happen because you're going to grow. You have to sometimes do it to work towards perfect because you have to evolve as you're learning from real life experience. Also, ask for help. And then last, know your worth. Don't undervalue your product or your service. Don't feel like you have to lower the price or all these things because no one's going to buy it. Charge what you're worth. And the people who value you will find you and they will be your customers. Okay? So, our final thing to help you know if you're ready to go in is for you to subscribe. You know?
Yes.
Go ahead and subscribe.
That's how you know you're ready when you get locked into Giggles and Goals.
Right
okay?
now, join our community. Subscribe, follow us on Giggles and Goals on Instagram, TikTok, all the places. Go to gigglesandgoals.com to find all the ways to stream our podcast, which is on Spotify, Apple Music, and every other streaming source that there is. Also here on YouTube. Go ahead and follow, share, comment, tell your family, tell your mama, tell your friends. And we're so excited for you. And if you have a business, go ahead and shout it out in the comments. In the next episode, we will shout you out because we believe in pouring out as much as we enjoy you pouring back into us. So we love you and we'll see you next week.
All right. Bye.
Bye.